Hey y'all, it's Marshita Patrice here, and welcome to the Sacred Homegirl Collective, where we walk through, talk through, and feel through what it means to live a life of faith, joy, and purpose. And if you are new here, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. Welcome. You are welcome here. Usually I just dive right in and just talk about different things, but today I'm really grappling with this idea of we tell people things, like we tell them like it's so important to know your purpose, it's so important to be confident, it's so important to insert whatever the piece is, but we don't necessarily equip people with the skills to do it. And so what I hope to create in this space is to equip you. So I'm not just going to say like, oh, it's important to be confident. There is a strategy and a practice to becoming confident. Because usually when you are anointed to disrupt, when you are anointed to change the trajectory of people and society and different practices, the first thing that's attacked is your confidence. When you are anointed to lead, first thing that's attacked is your decision making. So you second guess yourself, you doubt yourself. So you can often tell how you're wired and what you're gifted to do by the nature of attack that you go through. So I think it's super important that we actually have tools. And I realize that I've been going through these tools, but I'm not really 100% positive. I didn't go back and rewatch all my videos. Cause I be talking, y'all. I'm not 100% positive that I actually like went through what purpose is. So, and how there are 3 questions that you can ask yourself to begin the conversation of being able to pinpoint your purpose. And is it going to evolve over time as you mature? Yes, but the core of it, so to pinpoint the core of your purpose, what are the ingredients and how you can continue to decipher that? I'm not sure I went over that. And I just feel like that's not helpful. So we gonna go back. So the first piece, what is purpose? Like, what is it? The way that I define purpose, and so this is not Merriam-Webster or the Oxford English Dictionary, but the way that I define purpose is a set of assignments, divine assignments, that the Lord has uniquely crafted you to do, to birth into this world, right? And there are going to be giftings that are associated with that, but it's a unique set of divine assignments. It informs the type of tool, but it's a unique set of divine assignments that you've been called to do, and they tend to fall in particular categories, right? So like you have service, you have prophecy. There are different ones I can't think. Like it basically can correspond to the fruits of the spirit that are named, but then also various spiritual gifts that we see like coming up that come up in the Bible, right? But again, this is something that the Lord has put in you. You have unique skill sets to like solve this thing. And the idea of coming at it as like purpose itself is a unique set of assignments, is realizing that like we are all God's inventions, right? And every invention was created to solve a problem. We have laptops because computers initially were kind of more so geared towards people who were tinkerers and who would want to take the computer apart and put it back together and take it to different places. And that was the thing that they wanted to do. But then we saw like, oh snaps, we can use this for other tools. And it would just be so much easier to like not have to keep putting it together and taking it apart. So then we get your regular PC. And then eventually we're like, we don't want to, the PC is too big and lug. We don't want to be stationary. We want to be able to take it with us. And then we get laptops. And then, like we just keep innovating as a people. And so we have all these newer devices, like as we have evolved, like, and our need for the technology has evolved, like we innovate on it. But the idea is that that innovation, that invention is still coming from solving some particular problem. This is the root of all business. Any business that's going to be successful, you have to be married to what your problem is. And so when you think about yourself as an entity, right? You have to become married to what problem did the Lord put in me to be able to solve? And then how you decide to solve it is how you manifest your purpose. And that's what we mean when we say like assignments, right? And so that's easy to say. It's harder to figure out, because like what it really boils down to is like you're called to be who you were created to be. Because if you literally just walk in who the invention that you were created to be, then you will solve the problems that you were called to solve, right? You literally are somebody's solution. You are answered prayer. Every single one of us, especially when we decide to walk in who we were created to be, we're literally answered prayer. We may be the answer to a prayer that hasn't even been prayed yet. So the point is that we are answered prayer, right? Prayers that have been prayed, maybe there's something in you that you don't necessarily have the language for, but you can sense it, you can feel it, and you're birthing it, but like you just sense it. And maybe this is a thing that is like completely new, right? I think about the creator of Squid Games, and like how this was a concept that he had for a very, very long time and got rejected. The storyline, all of that got rejected multiple times. This was way before Netflix was even a platform, but like came out in the height of the pandemic, like the timing, the alignment, all of those various pieces. And like last time I checked, Squid Games is mad popular. And I say stuff like this to say that like when God puts something in you, it's because it's for you, like to do something with, right? So it could be him having this assignment of putting Squid Games out because somebody else needs to be inspired to be able to hold on and not let go of a dream, and keep going. Because, right, you can even have the purpose of inspiring people. It can also be the stories that we tell. I think so often we try to limit God and like limit the types of things that are like a justifiable thing. When I just think that that's unrealistic. So first piece is we know that purpose is a set of assignments, divine assignments, things that are put in you. And part of living out your purpose is literally being who you were called to be. So like who God created and formed in your mother's womb with a set of personality, all of those different things, desires, then you go through the world and the world tries to like beat it out of you, basically. That's who we have to get back to, because that part of you, those pieces of you, often the things that we desire when we're children, like that, those pieces of you know, like this is something, right? But I think in terms of, so it's one, that's your purpose, you have assignment, but it's not just assignment just out there. It's assignment that's typically tied to a set of people. And what I mean by that is the laptop, the cell phone serves different people, but it's serving us different, like various segments of people in various ways, right? These inventions are providing a service, and they're providing it to a particular group of people, right? You know, everybody, I mean, now maybe this isn't the best example because now everybody just imagines having a laptop and a cell phone, but that's something that grew over time. That wasn't necessarily the default, even with iPads and those various things. And so part of what figuring out like when you are thinking about not just birthing this assignment, but recognizing who this assignment is directed at, is who is it in service to, right? So I know that a huge part of my purpose, like one of those pieces it's manifesting in this channel, is to really teach and train and cultivate the next generation of superheroes. And when I'm saying superheroes, I mean superheroes for the kingdom, superheroes for people who are going to raise the vibration of the planet, right? And so we can manifest this assignment in different ways. Like, you know, people may stand up in a pulpit. I feel like I try to throw it, not try, I be succeeding at throwing it in a circle too much. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable in the pulpit. I might go do a little visit, but that's not your girl. That's not your girl. However, is everything that I'm saying gonna be rooted in word for the most part? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I'm called to shepherd shepherds, point blank in the period. Like, people who are going to lead people. I'm called to shepherd people leaders. And understanding that means that, like, people who lead people tend to want to be practical. They don't just want to hear be confident. They want to hear, what does that look like? What does that sound like? So building things that are very particular for them. That's why Iwulomi Works has resources. That's why this is still very much broken down into, like, we doing a thing. So identifying who you're called to support, and then looking at your gifts and figuring out, one, who you're called to support and how they're trying to solve their problem, what they would desire their solution to be, and really getting into what unique gifts do you have to be able to contribute to that solution. And that's how you kind of get at it. So I got about 3 questions. I got a little notebook, y'all. I took notes. So my first question, if you're and these are the 3 anchoring questions if you are trying to figure out, discover your purpose. What problem pisses me off over and over again, so you can see it in any situation, and it pisses me off in a way that I want to solve it. Like, I want to do something about it. It ignites something in you that you want to do something about it, right? So what problem pisses me off over and over again enough to do something about it? That's the first piece, right? Because as an invention, you're a solution. So there's going to be a magnetic pull towards seeing the solution, like seeing the problem that as a solution you are supposed to be paired with, right? There's an energetic pull that will pull you that way. So for me, a huge part, because one of the main things that shepherds be needing is clarity. Like, they have all these different pieces, but it's hard for them to see the pathway through. The problem that I typically see over and over again is cluttered thoughts, disorganized, like not being able to see what is the next best step. Like, I see that over and over again. And like, I also see the gap between telling people what they need and also showcasing how they get there, right? And so the lack of teaching, right? That's a problem. And part of what I've been equipped, I have a gift for teaching, I have a gift for clarity. All of those pieces help with my solution, right? And then, what are the characteristics of the set of people that no matter how hard it would be to help them, I would still want to help them? That if, the way that my mentor puts it, if there was a cement block between you and them, but you knew you had to get to them, you feel this crazy urge to get to them, and all you had was your bare hands, who are you willing to claw through cement for? Those are the people that you are called to support. As someone who has been on this journey of leadership, who knows what it's like to be in a dark tunnel, who knows what it's like to literally be in the valley of death, who knows what it's like to be in a den of snakes and to feel alone, to feel like just because I'm really good at masking, I am suffocating in a room full of people. I know what that feels like, and I don't want anybody else to have to feel it. And that typically being overlooked, feeling neglected, unseen, unheard, unchosen, right? Like that tends to be the pain point of many shepherds. So I know who my people are, and I look for them. And they tend to be women. They tend to be Black women, right? Like, you know, women, like Black and brown women, to be honest. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to help a white girl. I will. I do. But I know who specifically. That doesn't mean that I'm not useful to men. I have male mentees. But I know who I'm specifically called to, right? That's who's on the other side of cement for me. And then the other part is, what am I doing with this knowledge? Am I sitting on it? Am I dreaming up solutions? Right? So like, am I trying to tinker with coming up with a solution? Right? And it's going to morph, it's going to change. But I would say that those are the three things. First, you know, what's the problem that pisses you off enough to do something about? 2, who do you feel so led to do, like, solve that problem for? What do they look like? What do they sound like? You know, how does their day go? What would be the best type of solution for them? And then 3, you've identified these first 2. Are you tinkering with building a solution for them? What are you doing with this knowledge? That is how we begin to walk in purpose. Are you going to have it overnight? No. But I would just encourage you to push to get there. All right. I feel like I said a lot. So if you made it this far in the video and you are not subscribed, I don't know what's going on with you. Like, get it together, you know, because we're a cool little collective. Like, do what you got to do. You can find out more. Like, I also encourage you to sign up for the newsletter. I feel like I'm gonna put that in the bio. Go to evilomiworks.com. And if you like my hoodie, this is not a hoodie. If you like my crew neck, we have merch, you know, support. But yeah, purpose does look good on you. Purpose looks good on me. Yeah, thank you guys. Mwah.